Hello, love. How are you? I'm Nani Knight, and I hope that you are doing well, okay? I am here to talk about my empaths this session. I'm so excited because I waited so long to talk about this, okay? So, to all of my empaths, you are not the only one going through such crazy states at this time. You are feeling everything for a reason. But listen, guys, I'm not here to talk about the spiritual awakening or the great awakening. Like, it's some really cool information, but we have hundreds of videos about it. And it is time for us to understand not just the spiritual part of it, but also the physical part of it, because you are an interconnected metaphysical being, hence the human body. Okay, cool. So first of all, what are empaths and how do you know you're one? An empath, I like to define, is a person who is connected to an energetic force or multiple energetic forces that are outside of themselves, okay? I'm an empath, possibly you're an empath, everyone's waking up and shit, things of that sort. So, why is this so important? Because you're not just connecting to things, like you're connecting to stuff based off of your perception, based off of your mental focus. What do you focus on a daily basis? Is it animals? You're probably going to connect to them first. Is it people, trees, situations, the atmosphere, outside of the atmosphere, whatever it is that you already connect to is more than likely where you're going to start those empathetic magical powers. They're more like superpowers, you know, just it can be pretty annoying, okay? Man, guys, I wish I had something like, I don't know, telekinesis or something, where I just like move shit around. If I hear some shit, do some shit, you know? Anyways, so what's a plain example of someone being an empath? Being in a relationship, you already know when you're in a relationship, you are emotionally connected to someone. And your emotional state is definitely a driving force for all the energies going on. So, if you're in a relationship and you're an empath, you're going to know how your lover is feeling. In some cases, or many cases, you're going to know what they're thinking. You're going to know what they're hiding. You're going to know without knowing how or why it is that you know this stuff. But you just got to start trusting yourself, okay? And in time, your empathetic state, whether or not you connect to people and animals, things, or events, things of that sort, is going to grow, it's going to evolve, it's going to expand into so many other things. The more that you start to expand your state of focus, also as you start to acknowledge and accept your skills, as you start to nurture who you are and what you're becoming, and as you start to experience life, okay, the more you have experience in all this ongoing craziness, the more you will understand that there are certain patterns, the more you will see glitches in the matrix. Shit happens, okay, guys? But how do you know that you are getting this level of awareness? For most of us, we just start to realize that we're just missing information. Like something's missing in life. Something's missing in your history books. Something's missing in the way that you were raised. Something is missing in your own memories. Like what's going on? That is the first clue. You're like, there's something missing. And then something in your subconscious like jumps into the conscious state, and then it's just a different world, all right? Slowly starts to build itself. But as you start to acknowledge who you are, what you are doing, how things are working, you will start to understand the dots are starting to connect again like a puzzle, okay? You got this. By the way, guys, if I start looking down, which I will do often, it's because I'm looking at my Panda Cupcake notes, all right? It happens. There's so much to tell you. I can't lock it all in here, okay? So, sometimes it's a curse and sometimes it's a blessing, all right? It's really great to know things without knowing how you know things. But at times, if you don't know how to control it, it gets a little messy. Like, for example, when I was a little younger, I went to a job interview. You know, it was a 5-day job interview. I was like, oh, this is so ridiculously long just for an interview. All right, got through 4 days. On my 5th day, I had an interview with a completely different person that I never interacted with at all. Now, this person was probably going through a bad day or something, because when it was just me and my interviewee, I completely reflected their emotions back to them. As an empath, that happens so often, and you just gotta learn how to control that. First, you have to acknowledge that that's their emotions, and then you gotta block yourself off from them because people are crazy, okay? Long story short, they weren't doing good. And you know what? My subconscious was like, you're not doing good. And I didn't get the job. Plain and simple, okay? So you live and you learn, all right? Now, what's gonna go on as an empath? You're gonna start to realize at first, shit's crazy. Like you go into a crowd and everything's like back and forth, and you're like, what the heck? And you're gonna think that you're just going insane. And the fact is that you're just like feeling a bunch of shit. And you're hearing a bunch of voices that don't really belong to you. It's okay, man. You just gotta learn how to chill that shit out. You're gonna understand that things are pretty insane out there at first, and then you gotta calm your shit, and you'll be okay. If you ever want to learn how to do so, you contact me. I'm 99. All right. In addition, there will be moments where your emotions change, like you are bipolar, and you're not normally like that. What is going on? Is it your period 4 times a week? No. In actuality, you're just feeling other people's emotions, and you're taking that in as your own emotion. And you just gotta learn how to not do that. You're not going crazy. You're just feeling other people's feelings. You're thinking other people's thoughts. That shit happens. But as an empath, you have to know how to be an empath, okay? I know that sounds kind of crazy because you're already doing it, but there are ways for you to do it wrong, like not having control over yourself, okay? Imagine, like, as an empath, this is a situation. Someone literally just handed you a game controller, and then you look at this controller and you're like, okay, so this controller is me. And now you have the choice to take control of that controller, that which is your being, and really start to maneuver it for yourself. But you have to also understand that there are all these other controllers being touched. Some people are controlling their own game. Some people controlling other people's game. All right? Don't let other people control your game. That is it. All right? So, first of all, as an empath, you're special. But also, acknowledge that you are just scratching the surface of something that is so much deeper in this universe. You are on the way, but also continue to find a way because there's so much information to understand. Okay? Live your best self. That being said, be aware of what is going on within and around you and make the decision. Take that controller and take your life into your hands. That means your thoughts, your emotions, your decisions, your responses and reactions are all up to you, all right? Have a lot of self-faith. If you don't believe in anything at all, believe in yourself, okay? If you don't believe in yourself, who's going to believe in you? Seriously. Who is genuinely going to believe in you, in your world? Exactly, okay? Don't be that person. And in addition to that, just start controlling your emotions, your thoughts, yourself. At first, it's a little confusing because you don't really know what belongs to you. As an empath, you are basically a radio wave for everything that is physical and not so physical, all right? Your thoughts, your emotions, sometimes are not really yours. Like, they go through your mind, and you know how this feels and things of that sort. But did you really think it? Did you really actively think it in your mind? Did you really want to feel that way? It's time for you to really start thinking about that, because you have to be more aware of who you are and what defines you and what you want to define for yourself, okay? You can't just let everything boggle you down, or else you're just going to be a big blob of everyone's bullshit. And no one likes that person that takes on the world's burdens and then, like, shits on everyone else. Don't be that person, okay? Now, also, try to tame the amount of drama that goes on in the world. I'm not one of those empaths that cries for the world. You know why? Because I don't entertain that stuff, okay? Not with the news and all that crazy stuff, because I already know what's going to happen. Not with the people that are around me. Not with, jobs, anything of that sort that surrounds you all the time. It is up to you to create that safe bubble for yourself. Okay? Do not let everything turn you down. And listen, I understand, there's certain times in your life where you have to entertain something, maybe like a job you don't like or people around you, just so that you can get something better later on. If you have to make that sacrifice, that's okay. That's life. In addition to being a spiritual being, you are a physical being. You are metaphysical, an interconnected metaphysical being, which means that you need to understand how to take care of yourself, but you also need to understand how to live practically in this world, okay? Practicality and spirituality definitely meld together. You just got to know how to have your personal, special balance with that stuff, okay? My little empath, you will be a-okay. Also, I drew a card for you. I just want you guys to know that when I have tarot cards, I don't just look into my pile and say, hey, this looks good. My cards say what needs to be said for you. That is what tarot reading is all about. It's all about the guidance for you. So my tarot, your tarot, for today is what do you feel? So appropriate for all my empaths. My little empaths, this card is saying, I get it. You're surrounded by all these different opinions, by everyone doing their things, saying what they want to say, just every and anything they can possibly do to impact your next move. But what do you feel within yourself? You see this picture? This woman is balancing things that she chose for herself. She acknowledges that there's a full world full of many millions of minds. But what is she focusing on? Things that she chooses, her own balancing act. It is time for you to understand that despite the fact that you are connected to everything around you, in the end of the day, every decision that you make should be based off of how you feel should be best made for you. In the end of the day, it's still your life. Live your life. And at times, treat yourself. I don't remember who said that, but treat yourself. All right? Have you ever seen the movie Inside Out? It's definitely an animated kids movie, but it's so good. I'm telling you, the movie Inside Out is a clear definition of what goes on inside of your head, and it is also a lesson for what goes on as empaths as well. So if you haven't seen it, take a look at the movie, watch all of it, and then in the comments below, you let me know how you feel about that and how that connects to you as an empath, okay? You guys are lovely. Always, always love you. You have a fabulous week. And if you need anything, you contact me at Nonnaheals.com because I have so many things installed for you. For you, okay? I also do blogs. You follow me on Instagram. All of the information's down here. Better check it out. All right. Love you.